Pioneer fans, Pioneer Women's Varsity Soccer is live and on the air. We are live here at Hallway Field, where it is the final game of the round robin that was between the top four SEC teams out there. Pioneer is done very well in the round robin as they were able to come in and have a tie versus Celine to start off the round robin 3-3. They then beat Skyline on a kind of a crazy goal back on the 14th. That was 1-0 Pioneer, who handed Skyline their last or their only loss, and then coming in here and playing Dexter. So. Talking a little bit about that game, it was kind of an unfortunate goal by Skyline where wasn't able to be there, but had to describe to me that the goalie was trying to clear the ball for Skyline. It hit a defender about 5 yards in front of them, and Pioneer was able to score. So every once in a while, ball luck plays into it, hopefully Pioneer can keep things going here. Taking on Dexter, of course, coming up, they do have a game versus Mercy next week. And then on the 22nd, 5:30, it is the playoffs, as Pioneer will be hosting the first round of the MHSAA playoffs, and that will be versus Huron. So we will have, at very least, an audio broadcast for you that is free. We will, any video we do for the playoffs would have to go up to the NFHS network, and you'd have to have a subscription, but we will indeed do an audio broadcast that you can listen to for that if you don't want to pay for the NFHS network out there. So we will have that. Taking a look now. So Pioneer is now 11-3-1, having beat Jackson, Adrian, Birmingham, Seaholm, Chelsea. They beat Dexter earlier back on the 11th of April. That was a 4-0 win by Pioneer. Canton was one of their one losses. Skyline beat them by a goal, 3-2, back on the 16th of April. And Celine beat them on the 18th of April. So their three losses right in the row there. And then they came back, beat Lincoln, beat Huron 7-0, beat Monroe 8-0, beat Temperance Bedford 8-0, beat Trenton 2-0. And then that tie versus Celine, the win versus Skyline. So that is where Pioneer is. Taking a look at Dexter. By the way, kind of taking a look at just local items. Dexter's coach, Reese Muller, is a longtime goalie for AFC Ann Arbor. So he was a assistant coach with Dexter last season. He's the head coach now. So Dexter 6-7-2, having lost to Chelsea to begin the season back on the 4th of April, 3-2. They lost to Pioneer on the 11th. They beat Chelsea on the 13th, 3-2 of April. On the 15th of April, they beat Lincoln 8-0. They beat Huron 1-0 on the 18th of April. They beat Monroe 4-1 on the 23rd. They blanked Temperance Bedford, had a clean sheet 4-0 on the 25th. They had two games on the 27th as they fell to Farmington Hills Mercy 4-0, and then had a scoreless draw versus Traverse City Central. Celine beat them 7-0 on the 30th. They did start on the 21st with a 1-1 tie versus South Lyon East, just in a weird order there. Skyline beat them 7-0. Dexter blanked Gibraltar Carlson 2-0 on the 6th of May. They fell to Skyline 3-0 on the 9th, and then Skyline beat them on the 14th 8-0. So we're going to turn it over to John, the public address announcer, and welcome everyone here.
Alumni of the Dexter Dreadnoughts to tonight's match against your Ann Arbor Pioneers. Let's meet the participants, starting first with Dexter. Number 0, Rachel Rascals. 00, Alicia Farmer. Number 5, Lacey Jernigan. Number 7, Isabella Holmes. Number 8, Millie Truesdell. Number 9, Lydia Bauer. Number 10, Kendall Cabana. Number 11, Bryn Fitch. Number 12, Savannah Lowe. Number 13, Maya Weiss. Number 14, Anna Marie Mint. Number 15, Melanie Martinez. Number 16, Isabella Graybill. Number 17, Addison Ropke. Number 18, Sasha Jones. Number 19, Bailey Kruger. Number 21, Grace Cook. Number 22, Zoe Hartman. Number 23, Madison Winters. Number 25, Olivia Scheib. Number 26, Jillian Lauer. Number 27, Alexis Roller. Number 28, Isabel Batiri. Number 30, Bianca Smothers. Number 31, Emily Hossman. Number 32, Julie Raskold. And number 34, Victoria Collins. The head coach of Dexter, Reese Moeller, assisted by Jamie Lewis, Drew Ducker, and Matt Murphy. Oh yeah, now your pioneers, here they are. Number 2, Zoe Williston. Number 4, Emerson Marion. Number 5, Miriam Yansane. Number 6, Lydia Bezold. Number 7, Lucinda Gubini. Number 8, Hadley Bayan. Number 9, Sofia Ortega. Number 10, Sadie Wilkins. Number 11, it's Maya Borgstor. Number 12, Jillian Daly. Number 14, Ava Fortini. Number 15, it's Quincy Bean. Number 16, Aubrey Baumhover. Number 17, Izzy McEwen. Number 19, Bella Shemke. Number 20, Georgia Wilhelm. Number 22, Bella Zamora. Number 23, Darren McDaniel. Number 25, Jess Leonard. Number 28, Lane Templeton. Number 29, Jessica Gia. Number 31, Billy Sandstrom. Number 32, Meg Nicodemus. And number 52, Molly Burke. The head coach of Pioneer, Andy Irvine, assisted by John Sunderman, Justine Yankee, and Mark Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, the third team on the field today, the officials. The assistant referees are Bob Wolke and Akram El-Jamal. And the man in the middle, the referee, it's Steve Zimbardo. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you rise now, remove caps for the playing of the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
As we're getting ready to go here at Hallway Field, game time temperature of balmy 76 degrees, much different from the early spring, as we feel like we are truly maybe in the clutches of summer. Who knows? There may always be a bit more cold weather coming, but it is a beautiful day. Couple puffy clouds in the sky, but doesn't look to be any adverse weather out there. So folks filing in as we have a bunch of Pioneer folks coming in to cheer on, Dexter folks coming into the left. So you still have time to get out here if you want to check this game out. 40 minutes up on the clock as we are getting ready to go. The captains have met as Pioneer gathered up. Pioneers in their purple kits with the purple tops and bottoms, the numbers in white on the back. And the other squad, Dexter, is in their white kits with the maroon numbers on the back. White tops, white bottoms, white socks with the number small on the front. Same thing with Pioneer, small number on the front and the P on the top left-hand side. We're approaching, coming up towards the playoffs. Again, Pioneer will begin the playoffs Wednesday versus Huron. So looking forward to that. We do have the senior game before that happens. So make sure you come and check that out. Pioneer versus Mercy early next week. I believe we should be able to be here. Ball set. Right in the middle of the center circle, right at the block A's as Williston has it there. Is everyone set? As we are set, as Williston moves it back, Fortini gets it back over to the defense, coming up the near wing. Gia gets it over to Williston. Williston up the near touchline, back over by McDaniel, now trying to send it ahead. That pulled back away. McDaniel has it into the attacking third. Coming ahead with it, here comes Wilkins. Wilkins trying to feed it away, but that knocked away back there by Roller into the 18 and plucked up back there. Grabbed and moved over on to the near wing. And trying to see who it is. We got a number 1 in goal for Dexter, and I don't see that on the roster. So we'll do our best. As that was offside, sent right over midfield back. On the Pioneer side of the middle third, pulling it in. Here comes the Dexter offense. Getting in, trying to feed it into the box. Coming down on the near wing. That chipped over. Grabbed and knocked down. And a good save there by Pioneer. Fed over to McDaniel. McDaniel races ahead with it. McDaniel. That chipped right back away. Down on the near wing. Williston. Back over to Gia. Gia trying to feed it towards the center of the pitch. Over to Fortini. Now Beazle. Coming up the center of the pitch into the defensive third. Beazle rockets it right over midfield, and that goes out the far touchline. That'll be a throw-in right in front of Dexter's bench, as there'll be Graybill on the throw-in. She'll get that right about at midfield. Oh, she'll go back over to the bench. Just needed to get a ball. Graybill set right in front of her coach. She tosses that in down the far touchline, popped up by Ortega. That coming down over on the far side of the pitch, trying to move it over. That sent by Wilhelm over to Wilkins. Wilkins over to Borsdorf. Borsdorf coming down the far wing. Borsdorf coming towards the center of the pitch. Borsdorf gets it over. Wilhelm with a shot, and that just goes wide to the far side by about a foot or two. That'll be a goal kick for Dexter. As 37 minutes, 40 seconds left to go here in the first. And ball over onto the far wing, brought ahead by Dexter as they move it down the far touchline. That's stolen away by Marion. Marion trying to get across, but knocked down as Dexter feeds it by Fitch. Fitch trying to get to a Fitch, and Marion get tied up there. Excuse me, that was Cabana getting tied up back over there. That'll be a throw-in over on the far wing. Fitch trying to fight it ahead, knocked away by Ortega, but right out the far touchline. Graybill again with the throw-in. Knocked down over there by Jernigan. Ball right at midfield. Is that sent over by Borsdorf? Back over to Gia. Gia down on the near wing over to Williston. Williston gets it ahead. That fired as McDaniel trying to send it back. Headed down the near touchline and out. That will be Dexter with the throw-in. That goes into touch on the near touchline. 36:40 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. As Bauer with the throw-in on the near touchline. Gets that over, knocked down, trying to feed it ahead. Williston with a good job to dispossess that ball, coming down on the near wing. Over to McDaniel. McDaniel feeds it through traffic. Over to Wilhelm. Wilhelm coming down the near wing. Wilhelm trying to feed it ahead, and that pulled away. Just good defense back there by Hartman, trying to pull that away as Wilkins. Wilkins feeds it towards the center. Now Wilhelm back over to McDaniel. Back to Wilhelm. Wilhelm on the near touchline, going deep into the attacking third with the cross. That fired and grabbed. Good save by Dexter. That might be Farmer, not sure, in goal. That might be. I see 00 on the bench, so we'll assume that's Rachel Rasko. Fitch has it. Fitch in the middle third, trying to fire it all the way back into the Pioneer defensive third. Beazle going back to get it, trying to avoid the rush. Beazle on the far wing, trying to get away from Jones. That goes out the far touchline. That'll be Dexter with the throw-in. In the attacking third, comes down on the far touchline, trying to turn with it, move over as Jernigan. Jernigan puts it into the 18. That got knocked off of Gia. Gia feeds it all the way back right to near the middle third. McDaniel takes it there. McDaniel coming up the middle of the pitch. McDaniel trying to get it. That knocked away by Roller. Roller gets it going the other direction, down the near wing into the attacking third for Dexter. Gia sends it out the near touchline. 35:03 left to go here in the first. And sent in, knocked down, headed up over there by Bauer. Ball came down right at midfield. Wilkins trying to get to it. Roller sends it ahead, knocked down onto the near wing. Now sent deep into the attacking third. Good job to knock it down as Gia feeds it down the near wing. That rolls all the way back into Dexter's defensive third before it rolls out the near touchline. So Bauer with the throw-in on the near touchline. That launched high up, rainbowing deep on the Pioneers side of midfield. Trying to get it is Fortini. Fortini pops it up over onto the far wing. Racing over, played down by Fitch. Fitch gets it on the far touchline. Moved back towards the defense. Cabana has it. Cabana and Wilkins, two number 10s, battling on that far touchline. Brought back into the defensive third. Here comes Roller. Roller moving it back into the middle third, right at midfield. Good job. They hit it with the heel back over to Fitch. Dexter bringing it into the offensive third. Dexter bringing it in and trying to get it away. Ortega trying to knock it away. Back to Fitch as that goes out the far touchline. Marion knocking it out. That'll be a throw-in in the attacking third on the far wing. On that far touchline. Graybill with the throw-in. Gets it towards the far corner. Jernigan has it. Jernigan looking for a cross. Now that picked up. Here comes Wilhelm up the pitch. Wilhelm gets into the middle third. Wilhelm firing it. That knocked right back. Picking it up over there is Truesdell. Truesdell comes down the far wing, trying to poke it ahead. Fortini trying to knock it back. Back over to Truesdell. Truesdell heads towards the center. That chipped right back onto the blockades. Turning back with it is Roller. Roller moves down to the far wing. Now that launch deep. Dexter heads it into the attacking third is Lauer. Moves it over. McDaniel steals it away. Here comes Pioneer. Wilhelm back to McDaniel. McDaniel coming down the near wing. McDaniel racing. McDaniel feeds it ahead. That grabbed, and that is going to be offside. That will be Dexter's ball. As Borsdorf just got a little ahead of the defender. Not offside by much. 32:30 left to go here in the first. Still scoreless so far between the number 3 and number 4 seed team in the SEC. Top 2 is Skyline and Saline. Pioneer only 3 points behind Saline and handed Skyline their first loss. Wilhelm trying to move it right over the center line, comes all the way down onto the far wing. Here comes Dexter into the attacking third, looking for a center. Good job to knock it away by Williston. Picked up, headed over by Wilhelm. Wilhelm trying to move it over. Ortega battling on that far touchline with Jones. Ortega brings it over the midfield stripe. That back over, trying to get it is Wilhelm. Wilhelm cruising right back over to Borsdorf. Borsdorf sends it down the far wing. Knocked down. Marion tried to get to it. Now that fed ahead. Rocketed back by Ortega, down and out the far touchline in the attacking third. That will be a throw-in for Dexter. 31 minutes, 30 seconds left to go here in the first. Graybill has it on the far touchline. Graybill to throw it in. Ortega battling on that far touchline, goes out. There'll be another throw-in by Dexter. Back over, picking it up. Ortega trying to get it over. Fortini has it. Rolls it over midfield, over to Gia. Gia trying to move it ahead, grabbing it. Wilhelm. Wilhelm gets it over. That chipped by McDaniel. Back over to Fortini. Fortini sends it into the 18. Over, and that plucked up by Rachel Rasco. Moves it over. She rolls it over onto the far wing, trying to bring it ahead there. On the far touchline, Graybill knocked away. Coming ahead with it, here comes Pioneer with a cross. And poked back by Roller. Now trying to pull away Fortini. Coming up, Fitch has it down the far wing. Knocked down by Gia. Gia brings it ahead on the far side of the pitch. Gia into the attacking third, over to Wilkins. Wilkins puts it back on the far touchline for Ortega. And slips out the far touchline. It's a windy day here, so anything that kind of pops up in the air might drift a little bit. Pulled down. Here comes Dexter down the far side of the pitch. They put it down the far touchline as Gia trying to knock that away. Coming over, Jernigan trying to get across. And we'll go out the end line.
Dexter gets a corner.
That will be a corner for Dexter as they will have it.
Fitch will handle the duties.
Fitch will take the corner as she's set up in the far corner for this set piece for Dexter. Fitch sends the cross over onto the near wing. Rolls, racing to try and get it, and out the near touchline. That'll be Pioneers' ball. 29 minutes left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. Throw in on the near touchline. Wilkins heads it up as McDaniel trying to feed it ahead, and it's going to be whistled. It's going to be a throw in for Dexter as they feed it down the near touchline. Bauer fed it down, and that goes out the near touchline. That will be Pioneers' ball. Quick throw in over to Wilkins. Wilkins trying to move it ahead. Wilkins launches it. So that will go all the way towards into the middle third. Now lifted down onto the near side of the pitch as Williston trying to get it ahead to Wilkins. That goes out the near touchline. Dexter with another throw in the attacking third that headed up. Played down by Fitch. Fitch gets it over to Jernigan. Jernigan gets it into the 18. Gia trying to knock it away. Gia trying to pull that away. Still loose over on that far wing. Fitch has it. Fitch as Gia. Great challenge by Gia. She feeds it ahead, and that goes out the near touchline. Throw in again in the attacking third by Bauer for Dexter. Go over to Jernigan, and that goes out the near touchline. Williston with the throw-in. 27 minutes, 50 seconds left to go here in the first. That's a crossover. Beazle with a good challenge. Loose. And we'll get popped up over onto the near wing. Williston with it, or Wilkins with it, excuse me. Wilkins coming ahead with it. Wilkins over to Wilhelm. Wilhelm gets it over to Ortega. Ortega has it on the far wing. Ortega over to Gia. Gia trying to avoid pressure from behind. Gets it over to Williston. Williston up the near wing. Williston back over. Moved by Borsdorf. Now back out the near touchline. Williston with the throw-in on the near touchline. In the middle third on Dexter's side of the midfield.
Number 15, Quincy Beam. Number 28, Lane Templeton.
Beam and Templeton come in for Pioneer. Gives Marion and McDaniel a breather. Williston with the throw-in, headed up by Beam, trying to move it over to Borsdorf. That's sent ahead by Dexter. Now Williston has it on the near touchline. That poked back. Battle for it is Beam. Over to Williston, back to Beam. Beam looking for a cross. Beam. And that will end up over Dexter's ball, as that'll be out the near touchline. Thrown by Dexter on the near touchline. Trying to get it ahead to Lauer. That poked out. Both squads thought it went off of the other one. Pioneer with it. Beam trying to get it ahead to Templeton. Templeton on the end line. And using body position, Cabana makes sure that Pioneer was the last to touch it. And that is a goal kick. As Rachel Raskol will have it set right at the 6 to kick it away. Just under 26 minutes left here in the first. And ball coming down on the far side of the pitch into the middle third. Fitch has it there. Fitch trying to turn on it and lift it down on the far touchline. Back into the attacking third for Pioneer. Trying to grab it is Ortega on that far touchline. Ortega trying to turn on it. Ortega sends it into the 18. Grab there. Now launched ahead. Loose. Picked up by Fortini. Fortini over to Wilhelm. Wilhelm moves it back to Williston. Over to Beam on the near wing. Beam back over to Wilhelm. Wilhelm arcs it ahead, trying to get it over to Borsdorf. That knocked down, sent the other direction back over there by Viteri. And that will go out the near touchline. And Williston with another throw-in on the near touchline. Trying to get it over to Beam, trying to head it. That moves down. Popped up by Dexter. There's a head by Pioneer, but that goes out right at the midfield stripe. Quick throw-in back there by Bauer. Now Wilhelm trying to feed it down the pitch. That went off of a defender. And will be Pioneer with a free kick. 24 minutes, 45 seconds left to go here in a so far scoreless first. Beazle has it just over midfield. Beazle puts the right foot into it down the near side of the pitch. Knocked down by the Dexter defense. Moved over. Beam trying to get it in the 18. That's sent back out. Fortini with it. Now Wilhelm trying to pull it away, but Fitch has it. Fitch down the middle of the pitch. Fitch gets it right to midfield. Now moved over by Gia. Over onto the near wing. Wilhelm. Wilhelm sends it ahead for Beam. That popped up high as Bauer got a piece of it. Now Borsdorf trying to feed it ahead. Played down by Wilhelm. Wilhelm trying to get to it. That's sent back into the middle third. Here comes Dexter as Fitch trying to bring it up the far side of the pitch. Fitch now rolls it over to Viteri. Viteri comes down on the near wing. Stolen away by Williston. Williston gets it over to Beam on the near touchline. Beam gets it into the attacking third, and that goes out the near touchline. That'll be a throw-in for Dexter.
Addison Robke, number 17, now in.
So Robke comes in for Dexter. Dexter lifts that ball right into the middle third. Fortini trying to grab it. Fortini pops it up high. That headed up by Dexter back into their defensive third. Templeton trying to pull that away. Cabana has it, but here comes Pioneer as Wilkins trying to get a shot away. That blocked by the defense. Back out to Fitch. Fitch brings it up the far touchline. Rainbows it all the way down, and that is offside. As that will be just on the edge of the attacking third as two attackers got back behind the Pioneer defense. Beazle gets it set quick over to Borsdorf. Borsdorf right at the center line trying to get it over to Beam. Now racing in. Borsdorf trying to steal that away. Launch down onto the near wing. Here comes Beam. Beam gets it on the edge of the 18. Beam fires it up high, and that will go through the field goal post. We're at American football, that would be 3 points, but as association football or soccer, not so much.
And number 19, Bella Shemke.
Marion and Shemke in for Pioneer as Rachel Rasko quickly sends it over onto the far wing. Moved all the way, knocked down, poked up as Wilhelm trying to get to it. Fortini over on that far wing battling with Fitch. Fitch comes away with it. Now Fortini with a good challenge. That comes out onto the far touchline. Played back, and that will go off of Fitch on the far touchline right in front of the Dexter bench. That will be a throw-in for Pioneer with 21 minutes, 45 seconds left to go here in the first. Throw in as Wilhelm is trying to get it over. Templeton trying to get it over to Wilhelm. That again sent out the far touchline. So Marion will have another throw-in deep into the attacking third for Pioneer. Throw in there, knocked down, lifted by Marion into the 18, but that headed right back out. Fortini trying to get to it, battling back there, over with Lauer, comes on to the near touchline. Here comes Williston. Williston trying to turn on it, gets it over to Fortini. Fortini brings it ahead through the middle third, trying to get it into the attacking third. That's sent back right at midfield. Williston gets it back over onto the near wing. Williston brings it ahead down the near touchline. Williston comes into the attacking third, moving it over. That knocked down. Stolen away by Bauer. Now bringing it up the near touchline. That ahead to Lauer. Lauer. And knocked off of Shemke. Lauer with a quick throw in here. Lauer trying to send it deep into the attacking third for Dexter. Beazle heads it out. Now go out the near touchline. Dexter will have a throw in deep in the attacking third. Bauer with the throw-in. Bauer trying to get it into Jernigan. Jernigan on the near touchline, feeds it into the 18. Beazle launches it as that'll go off the football trailer all the way into the parking lot there. Throw in by Bauer on the near touchline. Bauer popped up high by Pioneer, trying to come down. Templeton racing back to get it. Cabana lets it go right to midfield. Now Beam chips it over. That launched into the attacking third. Templeton trying to get to it away from Roller. Roller sends it down onto the far side. Now trying to bring it back over on that far wing is Graybill. Graybill battling. That goes out the far touchline. That will be Pioneer with the throw-in. Trying to get it over to Borsdorf. Borsdorf pops it up in the far corner. Borsdorf trying to get across. Borsdorf moves it over. There's a whistle. And that is going to be Dexter, as they'll kick it away deep in their defensive third. Over halfway through the first. 19 minutes, 15 seconds left to go here in the first. Still scoreless. Ball played down. Fortini gets it. Fortini trying to feed it into that far corner. Knocked away by Cabana. Now, top of the 18. Beam with it. Beam trying to get deep. Beam with the right foot, as that was blocked back there by Bauer. Otherwise, fantastic opportunity by Beam. Rachel Rasko comes out to the edge of the 18 to kick it away. Arcs it down the pitch, headed by Wilhelm. Wilhelm chasing it right at the center line, trying to battle Jernigan. Wilhelm. Jernigan sends it over. That launched up the pitch. Beam trying to move it over for Templeton. Templeton racing. That ball over in the attacking third. Pulled away by Wilkins. Wilkins sends it down onto the far wing. Now Marion back to Wilkins. Wilkins trying to feed it ahead, trying to get around two defenders. Over to Beam. Beam, top of the 18. Pulled back. Now coming over. Borsdorf. Borsdorf looking for a shot, and it goes in. Goal, Pioneer. Pioneer scores. Borsdorf puts it in.
Maya Borsdorf.
And at 18-11, Pioneer goal by Borsdorf, and they have the 1-0 lead here at Hallway Field. Great job by Borsdorf to stick with it and get that in the upper right-hand corner. Just inside the woodwork, played down now. Wilhelm has it. Pulled away by Jernigan, poked by Williston out the near touchline. Beam couldn't quite get to it. Now there's going to be a throw-in. Over here by Bauer. Bauer played down by Beam. Beam right at midfield. Gets tangled up. as they play advantage there. Wilkins has it. Wilkins headed up the far side of the pitch. Wilkins sends it down the far touchline and played back over by Marion. Back to Wilkins. Wilkins feeds it over to Borsdorf. Borsdorf launches it into the 18, and that will go wide to the right, just to the right of the far pole. 17:23 left to go here in the first. 1-0, Pioneer with the lead. Is that ball set
Pioneer substitution.
for a goal kick?
Number 7, Lucinda Gubini.
Gubini in for Pioneer. All over onto the far wing. Cabana trying to bring it ahead. Templeton trying to steal that away. Wilkins has it. Wilkins trying to get it past a pair of defenders. Over to Beam. Beam with a shot. That got blocked. Back over, making a move. Gubini. Gubini. Over to Fortini. Now on the near wing. Beam. Beam. Stops with it. Beam. Moves it over to Williston on the near wing. Williston. That got knocked off of a defender out the end line. That will be a corner kick for Pioneer, as it looks like Beam's going to go over and take this corner. She gets set for this set piece for Pioneer. Beam raises her right hand, boots it across, headed up there by Beazle and grabbed by Rachel Raskol. Raskol gets to the edge of the 18. 16 minutes left to go here in the first. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. Fortini has it in the middle third. And sent ahead, popped up high on the far side of the pitch. Wilkins heads it forward. Wilkins trying to get into the far corner, trying to get across. Wilkins moves it into the 18. That pulled away by Roller, who sends it down on the far wing. Played down by Marion. Now taken away. Coming up is Fitch. Fitch sends it down the far touchline. And grab, bringing it ahead. Down on that far wing, Jernigan trying to get past the defense. As Shemke trying to knock it away. That grabbed and picked up by Pioneer. Ball lifted all the way down. That knocked down by Viteri. And down on the near wing as Borsdorf gets tangled up with Viteri's legs, and that will be a kick for Pioneer. 15 minutes left to go here in the first. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. Shemke set to boot it away. About 6 yards over midfield. Shemke waits for everyone to get in position. Shemke puts her right foot into it. And over on to the far wing, Cabana trying to get to it. Wilkins battling. Coming in with it is Templeton. Templeton with a shot that just goes wide. Not by much to the far side, just missed the woodwork over there. That looks like that's going to be a corner for Pioneer, as Dexter got a piece of it before it went out. So Beam will have it on the far corner.
Once again, Quincy Beam will serve.
Beam gets set up. Raises her right hand. Puts her foot into it as that goes high over the 18 as Gubini trying to pop it. Sends towards the top of the 18. Borsdorf heads it over. Trying to play it down. That goes into the middle third. Chipped by Marion ahead. Over on the far wing, Cabana lifts it, arcs it into the middle third. Fitch has it, just on the edge of her own defensive third, sends it down the far touchline. Now that rolled all the way up. Marion back over to Gubini. Gubini trying to feed it over to Wilkins. That pulled away by Fitch, but here comes Fortini right at midfield. And sent back over to Shemke. Shemke has it in the middle third, puts it over on the far touchline. Marion ahead with it. Marion launches it into the attacking third. Templeton racing to get it. That will go out the end line and be a goal kick for Rachel Asco.
Substitution for the Dreadnought.
13 minutes left here in the first. Ropke in. Weiss in for Dexter. That ball moved over on the near side of the pitch. Templeton out there creating pressure in the 18 as that's launched all the way down on the far wing. Gubini trying to steal it. Gubini moves it over. That's shot by Shemke all the way back into the attacking third. Beam has it there, but that's going to be a kick for Pioneer as they'll have it just over midfield. Beazle back to put this one in play. Beazle, right foot, low line drive kick arching onto the near wing. That will go out the near wing. That will be a throw-in. Pioneer with the throw-in as Beam launches it into the 18. That popped up high, played down by Bauer. Gubini trying to turn on it. That launched onto the edge of the middle third. Now Fortini stops. Fortini feeds it over for Borsdorf. Borsdorf trying to turn on it. Borsdorf over to Marion. Marion on the far touchline. Marion trying to get it passed over to Gubini. That comes over and trying to hold it in. Dexter, and Marion will pop it out the far touchline. And will be a throw-in on that far touchline for Dexter. They launch it in. Marion trying to move it over to Fortini. Fortini over to Wilkins. Knocked down on that far wing by Graybill. Now Wilkins trying to move it ahead to Fortini. That got ricochet back. Now Jernigan down on the far side of the pitch. Jernigan trying to work her way through a few defenders. Gets that over, coming down the middle of the pitch. Here comes Dexter into the attacking third. Puts it down onto the near wing for Weiss. Weiss trying to get it over. Knocked down by Williston as... fed over. Truesdale was the one who brought it into the attacking third. Now Beam launches it ahead, trying to feed it as Wilkins trying to play it. Now Templeton back to get it. They get it back over to Bauer. Good job by the Dexter defense. Gubini back over to Borsdorf. Borsdorf into the attacking third. It's that over to Wilkins. Now that's sent right back into the middle third. Fortini has it there. Fortini just on the far side of the pitch. Trying to get it into the 18, knocked over. Templeton battling. And right on the arc, popped up high, right on the edge of the middle third. Williston down on the middle third, trying to move it over to Beam. Beam launches it with the right foot, knocked down. Templeton trying to get to it, pulled over. Beam launches it, and that will go wide to the far side. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. 10 minutes left to go here in the first.
Number 18, Sasha Jones.
Jones in for Dexter.
For Pioneer, number 8, Hadley Fine.
McDaniel and Fine in for Pioneer as that's deep. Dexter's defense has it on the near side of the pitch, trying to feed it into the middle third. Played down by Jones, but that goes out the near touchline. Williston with a quick throw in. Williston trying to move over. Beam has it. Beam sends it into the 18. Racing over as Fine bearing down, but Rachel Rasco plucks it up before she can get to it. Rachel Rasco gets it on the edge of the 18. That ball right at midfield. Jernigan turns on it. Jernigan coming down the pitch as Gubini gets tied up, as that is going to be a yellow card to Gubini. So Gubini takes the yellow card. Fitch will get it restarted here for Dexter. Just a few ticks over 9 minutes left to go. Here in the first, 1-0. Pioneer with the lead. Dexter looking for the equalizer. Gubini gets put down in the book.
Georgia Wilhelm, number 20, now in for Pioneer.
Wilhelm in. Fitch looks to get this kicked away. Now Fitch, right foot into it, arching it into the 18. Headed by Beazle and grabbed. Good job as the Pioneer keeper has it. Kicks it high all the way towards midfield. That headed up. Now racing for it is Beam. Bauer pops it back over on the far touchline. Marion trying to head it, and that just comes off and out the far touchline. Dexter with the throw-in on the Pioneer side of midfield. Graybill will take it there. Graybill with the throw-in. Trying to get it into the attacking third as that slips past as Robke trying to get to that. It's going to be a throw-in for Pioneer. Quick throw-in on that far wing, knocked down, but a whistle. We'll redo the throw-in as we have 8 minutes left here in the first. Marion has it on the far touchline, just inside her own defensive third. Marion waiting for everyone to get set. Marion throws it in. Popped up by Fitch. Fitch moves it down on the center of the pitch. Williston over to Fortini. Fortini brings it over midfield. Fortini bringing it up the center. Fortini moves it down onto the near wing. Here comes McDaniel. McDaniel trying to get to it and just couldn't get to it before it goes out the end line. That'll be a goal kick for Dexter. As we approach 7 minutes left to go here in the first. Rachel Rasko gets it set. Moves it over to Cabana. Cabana bringing it up the far wing. Cabana launches it on the edge of the middle third, but that's stolen away by Marion. Marion trying for a cross. Picked up. Weiss has it. Weiss back down the far wing. That's launched. Stolen away by Pioneer right at midfield. They send it back to Shemke. Shemke trying to get around defenders. Pulled down by Fitch. Fitch launches it up the far side of the pitch. Coming in. Racing ahead. That launched and just a bit high. Goes about 5 feet over the crossbar. That was offside anyway. Again, just on the edge of the middle third. The official explaining things. So some inquisitive folks in the crowd. Beazle back to launch it away. Beazle lifts it far down the pitch, knocked right back to midfield. Weiss trying to get to it. Fortini battling. Jernigan sends it all the way down on the far side of the pitch. Marion trying to get to it as that's grabbed in the 18. Now rolled over to Marion. Marion up the far wing. Marion gets it. That knocked down. Controlled by Dexter. Top of the attacking third. Shot into the 18, and that will roll out the end line. That'll be a goal kick for Pioneer. 5 minutes, 22 seconds left to go here in the first. As Gabini back in for Pioneer. That ball up the near wing. Pioneer feeds it ahead as Gubini with it. Gubini racing into the middle third. Gubini launches it right over midfield. Coming back with it. Fian has it over onto the near wing to McDaniel. McDaniel back to Fortini. Fortini over to Beam. Beam back over to Fortini. Fortini launches it down. McDaniel trying to get to it. And again, just out of her reach. That will roll out the end line and be a goal kick for Dexter. 4 minutes, 35 seconds left to go here in the first. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. Rachel Rasko will get set to boot it away for the goal kick. Rolled over onto the far wing. Cabana lifts it down the pitch. Played down by Marion. Marion has it in the attacking third. Marion moves it up the pitch back to Fortini. Fortini centered up. Fortini moves it over to Gubini. Gubini battling back over there. Jones steals it away. Jones has it poked but gets it back. Jones just on the edge of the middle third trying to move it ahead. Fortini trying to steal that away, but Fitch lofts it all the way down. Marion chasing it back as that's played down onto the far touchline into the attacking third for Dexter. Beazle has it. Beazle launches it, and that will go out the far touchline. 3:40 left to go here in the first.
Turning to the Dexter lineup, number 8, Millie Truesdale.
Truesdale back in the lineup. Graybill with the throw in. Marion back into the far corner. Marion stops. Good move to get it away from the Dexter offense. Marion launches it down the far touchline. That will get popped up right at midfield. McDaniel trying to get to it. McDaniel roller knocks it away before McDaniel can get there. That headed back into the attacking third for Dexter over on the far side of the pitch. Fortini trying to move it away. Jernigan has it. Launched into the far corner. Fitch trying to turn on it. Now Jernigan as that's pulled back, and that is going to be a whistle as Fyan ended up with contact on Jernigan's back, and that will be a free kick in the place of Menace for Dexter. 3 minutes, 45 seconds left to go. Fitch has it. Is making sure all the players are where they need to be. Fitch back with this kick. Fitch, right foot into it. That got knocked down. Good job. I believe that's Gubini who took that. That popped by Cabana right back into the attacking third. Gubini moved ahead. Now volleyed back into the attacking third. Down go into the 18. Grab there. This Pioneers keeper calmly sends it ahead over. Here comes Fortini with 2 minutes left to go in the first. Fortini over to Williston. Williston gets it over to McDaniel. McDaniel challenge on the near touchline. That's going to be Dexter's ball. The official had a better view of it than I did. Bauer heads it ahead. Jernigan trying to move it into the 18. That launch back and booted back by Pioneers keeper. Move down. McDaniel sends it up high. Headed by Dexter. Played back as Cabana moves it over. Now Beam trying to get it down onto the near wing over to McDaniel. That popped out the near touchline by Bauer, and somehow is Bauer's throw-in. Williston trying to move it over. That sent back over midfield. Launched ahead. Beam plays it down. Beam ahead to McDaniel. McDaniel into the attacking third. That deflected by the defense, but that'll go into the 18. Rachel Rasco will grab it there. 1 minute, 5 seconds left to go here in the first. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. Arcing kick all the way down the pitch. McDaniel trying to get it back. That goes into the 18. And will be gathered up there. Rachel Rasco has it with 50 seconds left to go here in the first. Rachel Rasco rolls it over onto the far wing to Cabana. Cabana sends it down the far touchline. They'll go out the far touchline. 38 seconds left to go. Pioneer with some sense of urgency, trying to make something happen as that gets deflected into the far corner. Cabana back, and Cabana will just shield that ball, and that will go out, and that will be a goal kick for Dexter with 23 seconds left to go here in the first. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. Rachel Rasco gets it set up for the goal kick. 13 seconds left to go.
10, 9,
Rachel Rasco sends it away. 7 seconds left. That comes into the middle third. 5 seconds left. Played down by Jernigan. 2 seconds. 1 second. And that will do it as that's halftime. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. That at 18-11. It was a Pioneer goal by Borsdorf, and that's the difference. As we'll play a few messages from the MHSAA and be back with your second half action.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As we are coming out of halftime here, Pioneer has the 1-0 lead. Good crowd is filed in here. Still have a little bit of time to make it. Second half starting in mere moments. As Pioneer gathered around the far side, waiting for Dexter to come back out. So we'll play one more message from the MHSA while we're waiting for Dexter to come out, as they just start filing out of the locker room right now.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sport skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
40 minutes up on the clock as Pioneer going from left to right here in the second half. 1-0 Pioneer has the lead. Dexter comes out. Pioneer again in the purple kits. The numbers in white on the front and on the back. Little P in the top left. Dexter in their white kits with the maroon letters, or the maroon numbers on the back and on the front. The Dexter Dreadnought logo in the upper left-hand corner. Number 3 team in the SEC versus the number 4 team, Pioneer versus Dexter. Skyline with only 1 loss. They have the top seed in the SEC. Pioneer handed them that 1 loss in the last game. And Saline, who Pioneer had a good draw with in the game before that, is in second place. Launched all the way down by Fitch. Picked up over on that far wing. Trying to play it ahead is Wilhelm down the far touchline. Launched into... Trying to get into the 18, that knocked back, rolling over. Wilkins has it. Wilkins moves it over to Ortega. Ortega launches it into the 18, that knocked back away. Good defense back there by Roller. Now Fitch turns on it, feeds it back into the middle third. Pulled down by Ortega. Ortega. That will go out the near touchline. Pioneer with the throw-in. Ortega launches it, that headed back the other direction, back over there by Graybill. Ball down, popped up high by Borsdorf. Now Borsdorf trying to track it down. Pulled away by Fitch. Fitch trying to get over midfield. Fortina trying to dispossess her. That comes away, knocked away by Ortega. Ortega right back into the middle third. Borsdorf moves it over to Williston. Williston on that far touchline. Marion sends it back over to Gia in the defensive third. Gia pulls it right into the middle third. Fed ahead to Marion. Marion trying to chip it. Knocked down back over there by Truesdell. That ball all the way on to the far wing. Trying to bring it ahead. Down that far wing is Jones. That will go out the far touchline. Pioneers ball. 38-33 left to go here in the second. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. Williston with it on the far touchline. Williston launches it in, that headed up by Vatiri. Now trying to get it. Jernigan gets it into the 18. That will come over and out the end line. Good job by Ortega to make sure that went out, and that'll be a goal kick as Daly will get set to kick that away. Daly gets it right on the 6, rolls it over onto the near wing as here comes Pioneer. Beazle gets it over to Ortega. Ortega trying to feed it through traffic. Moved back over to Beazle. Beazle trying to lift it, knocked down by Lauer. Lauer, that rockets out the near touchline. Ortega with the throw-in on the near touchline. She'll waft it down the pitch, headed down back there by Graybill. Now volleyed ahead, sent right back into the defensive third by Graybill. Battle for a Beazle. Gets it into the middle third. Now Wilkins trying to feed it ahead. That knocked back. McDaniel trying to get it over to Wilkins. Wilkins racing ahead with it. Wilkins with the cross. And right back behind Borsdorf. Over to McDaniel. McDaniel over to Wilkins on the near wing. Wilkins launches it into the 18. Grabbed by Rachel Rasco. Rachel Rasco brings it ahead at the edge of the 18. 36:50 left to go here in the second. Fitch plays it down, pops it up, coming over. Cabana trying to get to it. Cabana trying to drift it back over to Rachel Rasco. She launches it high up. Bounces over. Ortega heads it over to Beazle. Beazle chips it ahead. Now launched by Graybill up high towards the middle of the pitch. Fortini sends it over her shoulder. Down on the near wing. Wilkins trying to get to it. Wilkins and Graybill battling. That comes out the near touchline. That will be a throw-in for Dexter as Graybill has it on the near touchline. Graybill. That's sent ahead by Ortega. Chipped ahead by Borsdorf. Back over onto the near wing. And moved over by Lauer and out the near touchline. Ortega with it on the near touchline as we are under 36 minutes left to go. Played down by Fitch. Now popped up high by Wilkins. Trying to get it over to McDaniel. Roller had it. Moved ahead to Fitch. Fitch up the near side of the pitch. Into the middle third. Fitch rockets it all the way down. Racing ahead with it. Here comes Jernigan. Jernigan gets it on the edge of the 18. Jernigan. Back is Beazle. Beazle trying to move it over. Lauer has it. Lauer shot blocked. I believe that was Ortega who got in the way of it. That's going to be offside. Now Pioneer bringing it over. Moved ahead by Borsdorf. Here comes Wilhelm. Wilhelm over on the near side of the pitch. By the way, if you want to see a former Pioneer player and Ivy Wilhelm's sister, Georgia Wilhelm, I know she is on the AFC Ann Arbor roster this season. They play Sunday, the women's squad, at 3 o'clock. Love to see you here at Hallway Field. Down, trying to move it ahead. That played down on the near touchline, and they're going to say that went out the near touchline. That will be a throw-in for Dexter. 34:45 left to go here in the second half. Graybill throws it. That knocked by Ortega out the near touchline. Jernigan will tip it over. Graybill will grab it for the throw-in. Graybill on the near touchline. Graybill lofts it ahead. Beazle trying to play it down. That goes out. It's going to be Pioneer's ball as Ortega has it on the near touchline. Ortega runs ahead. Ortega just shy of midfield with the throw-in. Just over McDaniel. Wilkins trying to get to it. That goes out the near touchline. That's going to continue to be Pioneer's ball. Ortega lofts it ahead, trying to get it over to Wilhelm. Wilhelm over to Borsdorf. Borsdorf moves it over onto the far wing. Williston coming down with it. Williston trying to move it ahead. That knocked all the way down as Bauer gets it going the other direction. Here comes Dexter down the far touchline. Rocketing ahead with it is Jones. Jones battling. That will go out the far touchline. Throw in for Dexter as Bauer will throw it in. She'll get it over on the Pioneer side of midfield. Grabbed, sent by Marion, back over to Beazle. Beazle over on the edge of the middle third, over to Ortega. Ortega brings it up the near side of the pitch. And stolen away, sent ahead as Vatiri had it. That went out the near touchline. Launched by Lauer, back, edge of the 18. Jernigan with it. Jernigan trying to get away. That rocketed back over onto the near wing by Williston. Trying to play it down. Viteri had it. That will go out the near touchline. Ortega with the throw-in on the near touchline. Substitution as Fortini goes out, and
Now in for the Pioneers,
Zamora comes in.
Bella Zamora.
And lifted. McDaniel trying to get to it. Rolls back. Dexter feeds it ahead. His roller had it. Zamora sends it out the near touchline. So, nice gentleman in the crowd grabs that ball and tosses it over to the official. Get rolled over to Graybill. Graybill has it on the near touchline. Graybill launches it. Now trying to play it down Jernigan. Jernigan heads towards the center of the pitch. Jernigan trying to turn on it. That knocked away by Zamora. Now Beazle has it. Gia sends it down the far side of the pitch over to Williston. Williston up the far touchline. Williston racing ahead into the middle third. Williston sends it over to McDaniel. McDaniel on that far touchline. Knocked away. Williston lifts it down, and that into the Pioneer bench. 31 minutes, 45 seconds left to go here in the second. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. McDaniel has it. McDaniel's got back past the defense. McDaniel's coming in. McDaniel shoots it. That knocked down by Rachel Rasco. Good save by the Dexter keeper. She comes out to the edge of the 18. Puts her foot into it, down onto the near wing, racing back. Beazle, or Ortega has it. Ortega down on the near touchline, as that's going to be out the near touchline. Lauer trying to get to it first, but Pioneer with it. Ortega lofts it in. Borsdorf heads it over to McDaniel. McDaniel moves it back over to Wilhelm. Wilhelm right at center. Wilhelm launches it all the way deep. That will bounce into the 18. Rachel Rasco grabs it there. Pressure coming from Marion. Calm, cool, collected. Rachel Rasco knocks it all the way down. Knocked down by Lauer. Pulled there. Borsdorf over onto the near side of the pitch. Wilkins trying to move it over. That's stolen away by Graybill. Graybill over to Fitch. Fitch has it over on the near side of the pitch. Trying to send it ahead. Beazle has it. Beazle in a battle with Jernigan. Down over to Ortega down the near side. Ortega launches it into the attacking third. Now moved over. Here comes Borsdorf. Borsdorf with the shot, and that grabbed. Rachel Rasco with the save. So we are approaching the 30-minute mark. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead down on the pitch. As it looks like Borsdorf lost a shoe there. Played down Gia with it. Gia chips it ahead to Zamora. Zamora down on that far wing. Williston sending ahead to Marion. Marion down on the far touchline trying to get it past the defense. Poked back. McDaniel trying to move it over to Williston. Turning on it. That knocked down. Now Truesdell trying to get it out of the middle third. Williston down. Flips it over to McDaniel. Back to Williston. Williston with the cross trying to get it to Wilkins. And that grabbed. Good opportunity, but a good save there by Rachel Rasco. Keeps it 1-0, Pioneer with the lead. A quarter of the way through this second half, excuse me. It's the problem with doing too many sports. That's sent over, good cross by Wilkins, and just missed Marion. She jumped for it and just couldn't connect with it. Goes out the far touchline. That will be a throw-in for Dexter.
Number 19, Bailey Kruger.
Kruger in for Dexter is throwing down the far touchline, trying to get to it. McDaniel, and that will be a throw-in. Just in the corner, almost was a corner kick. Marion will have it right at the red flag in the far corner. 28 minutes, 40 seconds left to go here. In the second, throw in, head it back over. That will go out again. Marion will throw it in again on that far touchline. Over to Borsdorf. Borsdorf has both boots on now as that rolls out and goes out right at the Pioneer bench. Williston over there with it at the edge of the attacking third. Substitutions coming in for Pioneer. As McDaniel going out, Templeton and Beam coming in. Marion goes out as well. As Williston throws it in, that into the near corner, trying to knock it out. Cabana sends it out the far touchline. That'll be another throw in. No, they're going to say that was last touch by Pioneer. The official with a much better view of it than I have. 27 minutes, 40 seconds left to go here in the second. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. Beam heads it. Played down by Roller. Templeton trying to pull it away from Roller. Templeton chips it back over to Beam. Beam on the far wing with the crosser, with the shot. That goes just a little high. It'll be a goal kick for Dexter. Rachel Rasko gets it set for the goal kick. As we approach the 27-minute mark, over onto the far wing, Dexter. Cabana lofts it over. Fortini in for Pioneer, knocked down by Ortega. Ortega brings up the near wing. Ortega over to Borsdorf. Borsdorf trying to turn on it. Borsdorf chips it ahead. That grab by Fortini. Fortini on the edge. As that goes off of a defender, that will be a corner. As Fortini battled, created a set piece here for Ann Arbor. Looks like Beam will actually take it. Fortini will leave it there for Beam.
Actual service by Quincy Beam.
So Beam gets back to kick this away. Raises her right hand. Fires it as that's knocked down. Fortini trying to move in. That will just go off to the left by just a little bit. I think it went off the side of her foot trying to get that ball before it completely settled down. It's going to turn into a goal kick for Dexter as we are 26 minutes left. Weiss in for Dexter. Ball over onto the near wing, trying to get it out of the defensive third. Knocked over, bringing it ahead is Roller. Roller gets it over to Weiss. Weiss coming down on the far wing here is Truesdell. Truesdell launches it all the way into the 18. Daly plucks it up there. Daly bounces it a few times. Now kicks it away with the right foot into the middle third. Borsdorf over to Ortega. Ortega back, sending it right over midfield, but that volleyed back onto the near wing by Dexter. Ortega trying to keep the ball as that's tipped out the near touchline. Lauer trying to send it ahead. Ortega using her body to protect that, keep that Pioneers ball. Ortega trying to get it to Wilkins. That popped up. Now played down by Wilhelm ahead, or by Wilkins ahead. And it's Truesdell. Sends it at the edge of the middle third. Here comes Jernigan. Jernigan has had a couple opportunities today. She comes over. Beazle trying to get in the way, and that goes in as Jernigan fires and puts it in the near corner of the Pioneer goal. And now it's a 1-1 game. At 24-47. I just said she was dangerous, and unfortunately she proved me right there. So announcer's curse on that one. Ball over, Wilkins trying to get to it. Pull back over, challenged by Lauer. Lauer lofts it to the center of the pitch. Move down, trying to battle ahead with it. Lauer pops it up as Weiss went to get to it. Now bringing it ahead, down there is Kruger. Gia trying to pull it away from Jernigan. Jernigan right up at the top of the 18, knocked away. Good job by Ortega with a good challenge. Back ahead now. Borsdorf gets it back over to Fortini. Fortini brings it up the pitch. Fortini just over the midfield stripe, over onto the near touchline to Wilkins. Wilkins trying to get it back to Fortini. Fortini moved over. Wilkins now on the near touchline, lofts it ahead into the 18 as that's plucked up and grabbed. Bauer was back there trying to make sure nothing happened to it. Rachel Rasko launches it all the way down. That rolls back into the defensive third. Clock. Hey, guys. Thank you. There's a little technical issue there. Brought ahead, grabbed as down onto the near wing, trying to feed it ahead. As that will go out the near touchline. Pioneer with the throw in. Wilkins launches it down the near touchline, trying to get it over to Templeton. That sent into the stands. That will be a throw in by Pioneer. Ortega will have it in the attacking third, looking to throw it in. 1-1 is the score. Move down. Borsdorf trying to get to it now. Templeton, that's sent back into the middle third. Played down by Gia. Gia trying to lift it ahead. And now turning on it is Fortini. Fortini brings it into the attacking third. Fortini, that's sent over to Borsdorf. Now here comes Templeton. Loose. And that will go out the near end line. Oh, no, they send it out the near touchline, and that'll be a throw-in for Pioneer. So I don't think Dexter was sure whether they touched it last or not. I thought that would have been a goal kick for Dexter, but they attempt to send it. Ortega comes off the pitch, and Marion comes back on. 23 minutes, 26 seconds left to go here in the second half. Marion lofts it in. It's a tie game, 1-1. As Zamora has it, Zamora moves it back over to Beazle. Beazle launches it into the attacking third. Over to Borsdorf. Borsdorf sends it over on the far side. Beam trying to get to it. That's sent out the far touchline. Pioneer with the throw-in over there. As we are 23 minutes from the end of regulation. Oh, excuse me, that would be offsides. Offside. Play down by Gia. That goes on to the far side. Down the far touchline. Dexter moves it ahead. Jones with it. Jones trying to feed it over to Jernigan. Popped up by Beazle. Beazle looking, and that will go out the end line. As that is going to be a corner kick for Dexter.
Bryn Fitch, number 11 for Dexter, and number 17, Izzy McEwen for Pioneer now in the lineup.
It's McEwen in for Pioneer. They still haven't, now someone's going to grab it. That's going to be Fitch for the service. So Fitch set up to kick it away for the corner. Right foot into it, and that hit the field goal post. That'll be out. Goal kick for Pioneer. 21 minutes, 30 seconds left to go here in the second. Beazle over to Fortini. Fortini on the edge of the middle third. Over to Wilkins. Wilkins trying to get it back to Fortini. Fortini, there's a challenge by Graybill. Wilkins comes away with it. Wilkins trying to get it down. That poked out the near touchline by Viteri. A quick throw in by Wilkins over to Fortini. Fortini back to Wilkins. Wilkins chips it over to Beam. Beam moving it back. That's stolen away by Dexter. Fortini tracks it down in the middle third. Fortini comes over on the near side of the pitch. Fortini lofts it into the attacking third, trying to get to Wilkins. Wilkins trying to keep it in, and oh, she just tried to kick it and get it over and just couldn't get enough on it as it was just a little too far in front of her. Valiant attempt. That's going to be a goal kick for Rachel Asco. One is the score. Both squads want that next goal, trying to take the lead. Pioneer had the lead as they scored first at 18-11 in the first. Now here comes Dexter coming down the far wing is Kruger. Kruger, McEwen knocks it away as that launched. Zamora sends it down onto the far side of the pitch. Fired ahead. Jernigan trying to get to it. Beazle back there with her. Jernigan trying to fire it, and that knocked down and grabbed by Bailey. Great save by Bailey. We are halfway through the second half. 19:55 left to go. ahead. Marion trying to get to it. That play down and out as Wilkins trying to fire it ahead. Graybill with the throw in for Dexter. There's a whistle and substitution coming in first. Then Graybill will throw it in again as
Jones, number 18, now in for Dexter.
Jones comes in replacing Truesdell. Graybill with the throw in. Graybill. Fitch sends it. Marion lofts it the other direction on a volley. Knocked down there. Now Borsdorf over Fortini. Up the near wing. Fortini into the attacking third. Fortini deep into the attacking third. Trying to get across. Fortini with the cross. And that grab. Rachel Rasco grabs it right in the goal mouth. And she'll come out to the edge of the 18. 18:50 left to go here. Fitch brings it into the middle third. Fitch fires it right at the center line. McEwen trying to pull it away. McEwen with a good challenge, but a whistle. That will be Pioneers' kick as they'll get it set just over midfield. McEwen. Or excuse me, Beazle back to boot it away. Beazle launches, low line drive kick. Popped up right on the edge of the 18, over onto the near wing. Fortini trying to get to it, played down by Jones. Jones trying to keep it in. That will go out. Pioneers ball. Good job by Fortini to make sure it went off of Jones. Marion with the throw in on the near touchline.
Wilhelm, number 20, now in for Pioneer.
It's Georgia Will. Yeah, sorry, it was Ivy Wilhelm on. I have to relook at that AFC Ann Arbor roster. I think it was Ivy Wilhelm with AFC Ann Arbor. Obviously, Georgia Wilhelm here. That's my fault. It's what happens when I mainly deal with last names. Over onto the far wing. Zamora trying to get to it. Wilhelm with the shot. And that goes just a touch high. Good job by Wilhelm to get a shot away. That turns into a goal kick. 17:25 left to go here in the second. Down onto the near wing. Roller from the near wing to the far wing over to Fitch. Fitch into the middle third. Fitch ahead. That into the defensive third for Pioneer as they'll just send that back over to Daly. Daly will kick it out of the 18 as pressure coming back there by Dexter. Fortini ends up coming down hard on the pitch. That will be a kick for Pioneer as they quickly get it going. Up, they'll have to... Can't quite get going that quickly. The official wants to get everyone set. 16:45 left to go here in the second half. 1-1 is our score. Beazle has it at the edge of the middle third. Lofts it into the attacking third. Trying to get to it is Wilkins. And ahead, Fortini, and that just deflects off of her out the near touchline. That'll be a throw in for Dexter. Graybill on the near touchline. Graybill looks down the pitch, lofts it ahead. Trying to play it ahead is Beazle. Now here comes Jernigan. Jernigan with the lone Dexter goal. Good job to get a big challenge by Beazle. Jernigan with it down the near touchline as that got deflected. Fortini trying to get to it, but that fired right into the 18 by Weiss. Daly will pluck it up as it went out the end line. That'll be a goal kick for Pioneer. 15:50 left to go here in the second. 1-1 is our score.
Number 8, and for Pioneer.
Vian in for Pioneer. Ball moved over onto the far wing. Bringing it ahead is McEwen. McEwen launches it. That goes just out the far touchline. Beam trying to get to it. That'll be a throw-in over there by Bauer. Bauer to Cabana. Cabana lifts it ahead. That headed back the other direction by Williston. Out the far touchline. Again, Bauer with another throw-in. Pulled down, back to Bauer. Bauer feeds it over to Fitch. Fitch moves it on the Dexter side of midfield over to Roller. Roller trying to move it ahead. Fitch with it. Fitch blasted down the near side as trying to get to it is Jones. That goes out the end line. That will be a goal kick for Pioneer. 15 minutes or 14 minutes, 45 seconds left to go here in the second half. Daly gets set for the kick. So we're all equal. 1-1 is the score. Couple substitutions coming in. Truesdale and Lauer in for Dexter. Daly moves it over to McEwen. McEwen brings it up the far side. McEwen over to Zamora. Zamora back to McEwen. McEwen up the far side of the pitch. McEwen. That deflected off of Kruger. Now here comes Beam. Beam fires it all the way into the attacking third. As racing back, Fyan to provide pressure, but that kick by Rachel Rasko right back to the center line. Beam has it over on the far touchline. Beam trying to bring it ahead. Challenged by two defenders. Beam trying to move it over to Zamora. That knocked down. Dexter has it. As challenged by McEwen, but pulling away. Here comes Dexter down the far wing. As that moved over, Lauer has it, and Beazle and Lauer got tied up, and there's a whistle, and this might be dangerous, as if that's a free kick there, that's going to be in a place of menace. As they both got tied up, that will go Pioneers' way, as that's a contact made, 50-50 call. The Dexter fans voicing their opinion of it. 13:23 left to go. The official talking things over with the side. Over on to the near side of the pitch. Williston has it. Williston ahead to Beam. Back to Williston. Williston trying to move it over to Borisdorf. Played down by Weiss. Weiss ahead, knocked down by McEwen. Now Zamora trying to get to it. Pulled ahead. Good challenge by Marion. Marion trying to get it away from Lauer. Marion gets it ahead. That's sent by Borisdorf into the attacking third. Fyan trying to get to it. Now that's sent out the near touchline. Pioneer with a throw-in on the near touchline. 12:50 left to go. Quick throw-in now. Fyan has it in the near corner. Fyan with a cross, trying to get it over to Fortini. Now there's a shot, knocked down, save. Fortini moving it back on the near wing. As that will go out the near touchline. Good job trying to control it by Lauer, but couldn't quite do it. Fortini pops it up high into the 18, headed back, played down by Beam just outside the 18. Beam with a shot, as that's grabbed by Rachel Rasko right in the goal mouth. Rachel Rasko comes out to the edge of the 18. Rachel Rasko puts her right foot into it, bounces right to midfield, headed up high by McEwen. Over to Zamora. Zamora trying to turn around and find it. That's going to be a whistle. That is going to be a restart by Dexter as they'll get the free kick. Fitch will have it right about 5 yards over midfield. 11:50 left to go here. 1-1 is our score. Launched ahead and grabbed by Daly in the 18. Daly bounces at the edge of the 18. Daly pops it up. Fitch plays it down just at the center of the pitch. Now coming over, trying to get to it is Fyan. Fyan over to Marion on the near touchline. Marion back into her own defensive third, sends it into the 18. Daly has it there. Daly ahead. That will go into the middle third. Stealing it away is Fitch. Fitch rockets it. That will go wide out the end line. That will be Pioneer with the goal kick with 11 minutes left to go here in the second half. 1-1 is our score.
Substitutions, number 28 is Viteri for Dexter.
Viteri in for Dexter.
For Pioneer, number 10, Wilkins.
Wilkins in for Pioneer. Beazle up the near side of the pitch. Now over to Marion on the near wing. Back to Beazle. Beazle trying to fire it ahead. Now we'll go out the near touchline, just right at midfield. Graybell has it there. Graybell launches it down the near touchline. Popped over by Jernigan. Played down by Marion. Now Lauer trying to get ahead of it. McEwen trying to stay ahead of her. Lauer goes down. That is going to be a kick in a place of menace here for Dexter as their feet got tangled. Fitch sends it over the crossbar. That will be a goal kick for Pioneer. She kicked it with authority, but it just got a little too much air underneath it for her. 9:50 left to go here in the second. Daly set to kick it away. 1-1 is our score. Daly over to Beazle. Beazle up the near side of the pitch, but substitutions. McDaniel in for Pioneer. Jones in for Dexter. McEwen coming up the far side of the pitch. McEwen gets it back over to Beazle. Beazle trying to get it through a couple Dexter forwards. That sent out the near touchline as Lauer had it. Now here comes a throw in. Beam heads it up over. Wilkins trying to get to it. Played back. Wilkins with a challenge. Now Beam trying to get it ahead. Wilkins racing down the near side of the pitch. Wilkins flips it over to Beam. Beam coming towards the 18. Beam puts her left foot into it and knocked down Rachel Rasco with the save. Under 9 minutes left to go here in the second half. Played down by Fortini. Fortini gets it away from Fitch. Fortini bringing it ahead. Fortini over to Beam. Beam stops with it. Beam over. Now here comes Borsdorf. Borsdorf gets it over to Wilkins. Wilkins on the near touchline. Wilkins has it. Wilkins back over to Borsdorf. Borsdorf trying to get... Oh, shot and that picked up grab. Looks like she was trying to kind of bend it towards into the goal, and it was a good save by Rachel Rasco. Rachel Rasco at the edge of the 18. She sends that as headed back the other direction by Fortini. Now back to the middle of the pitch. Popped over by McDaniel, trying to move it over to Borsdorf. Borsdorf battling over there with Roller. Knocked down over on the far side as Wilhelm trying to get that ahead. Now McDaniel on the far side of the pitch, trying to get it back to Beam. That's sent back into the middle third. McEwen puts it over onto the far wing. That brought ahead as here comes Jernigan. Jernigan into the attacking third for Dexter. Jernigan on that far wing. Jernigan. Beazle trying to knock it away, and Beazle doing a great job. Nice challenge. That will be a corner kick for Dexter. 7 minutes, 25 seconds left to go here in regulation. Fitch will take the corner in the far corner. Fitch back. Raises her left hand. Fitch puts her left foot into it. Knocked down, and that goes out the end line. Dexter player down right in the goal mouth. She pops up as it's a goal kick for Pioneer. Daly has it, set at the 6:40 left to go. McEwen bringing it up the far wing onto the far touchline. Williston gets it into the middle third. Williston knocks it. That went off of Cabana's head. Will go out the touchline. It's going to be Dexter's throw-in. Williston plays it down. That knocked all the way back. Beazle trying to keep it out of her own defensive third. Now sent back. Jernigan gets it. Popped over onto the near wing as Lauer sends it down the near side of the pitch. That goes out the near touchline. Lauer with a quick throw in. Lauer Trying to get it over to Fitch. That popped up. Good head over as Borsdorf gets it into the middle third. Knocked down. Borsdorf gets it ahead. Here comes McDaniel. Back over. Borsdorf trying to feed it ahead. Roller knocks it down. Roller gets it right over the blockades, over onto the far wing. As that brought ahead, but Jernigan goes down, and that will be a free kick. 5:15 left to go here in the second. Fitch has the ball set about 10 yards inside of the middle third. 1-1 is our score. Fitch, left foot into it, headed down over there on the far wing. As McDaniel gets to it before it goes out the far touchline. Beam trying to feed it ahead. That played back as Fitch moves it back over to Roller, just on the edge of her own defensive third. Roller brings it up the center of the pitch. That's sent back. Cabana wafts it up high. Played down. Beazle has it in her own defensive third. That ball popped up over Wilhelm. Gets it back, coming ahead. Wilhelm trying to dribble through traffic. That blasted by Cabana all the way back into the defensive third. Coming in and grabbed by Daly. Daly with a good grab. And the Dexter fans are incensed on the sideline. Fortini ahead to Borsdorf. Borsdorf racing ahead with it. 4 minutes left to go. Now Wilkins trying to get to it. That's stolen away. Good defense as that's sent by Cabana down, and that goes out the near touchline. Marion with it on the near touchline. Marion trying to get it in. Wilhelm with it there. Back over to Borsdorf. Borsdorf over to Fortini. Back to Borsdorf. Borsdorf on the edge of the attacking third. Pull back away. Here comes Dexter. Launched all the way ahead. Back into the defensive third. Now rocketed by Daly back. Picked up back there by Jones. Stolen away. Here comes Wilhelm. Wilhelm ahead. That grab coming down onto the far wing is Beam. Beam looking on the edge of the 18. Stops trying to get a shot away. That knocked down. Back over to McDaniel. McDaniel pops it up. Coming in. Here comes Fortini. And that sails on her as she was trying to get it as the ball was bouncing up and down. And it just caught the upper part of the boot and sailed on her. 3 minutes left to go here in the second. 1-1 is our score. Rachel Rasko with it. Rachel Rasko sends it. Headed up by Fortini, keeping it into the attacking third. Fortini trying to get through traffic. Fortini coming over. Fortini kicks it. At into the 18. Wilkins trying to get to it. That's sent out the end line. That is going to be a corner for Pioneer. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left. Pioneer showing as Wilhelm to take the kick. Raises both hands, sends it ahead. As, Fortini with the header. That goes out the end line. That'll be a goal kick. Good opportunity. Nope, that'll be another corner. Popped up high. Played down, sent by Beazle and knocked out as one of the defenders came over to send it away. Beazle trying to move it over. Now Fortini heads it over to Borsdorf. Borsdorf trying to get away from Fitch. Fitch moves it onto the near wing but pulled away by Marion. Marion trying to send it up the pitch. Marion launches it. That headed. Played back over by Jones now into the far corner as McDaniel trying to get a shot, and that goes out the end line. That is going to be a goal kick with 1 minute, 30 seconds left. And brought ahead, both teams showing a big sense of urgency here. Launched down the near touchline. Fired ahead by Lauer. That will go all the way back into the defensive third. Pioneer keeping everyone forward. Rocketed by Daly. Knocked down. Here comes Jernigan. Jernigan launches it, and that is a goal. Jernigan puts it in at 1 minute, 3 seconds left. Jernigan gets a brace as she gets her second one. Pioneer trying to keep the offense forward, trying to get that lead, and Jernigan steals it away, and she gives Dexter the 1-goal advantage. Down the far touchline, sent back over. Williston trying to get it ahead. That launched right back into the defensive third. 46 seconds left to go. Dexter up by 1. Daly trying to move it ahead. Knocked down by Lauer. Lauer avoids some pressure by Pioneer. Gets it over to Jernigan. Jernigan over, knocked away, down onto the far side, but that's going to be a kick by Dexter. 28 seconds left to go. Dexter up 2-1. A goal with 1 minute, 3 seconds left to go. Clock stops, 22 seconds. Fitch back. Pioneer hoping for a miracle. Gotta get the ball back as that's headed all the way down. That will go down on the far touchline. 13 seconds left to go. Pioneer quickly throws it in. Beam trying to get to it. 7 seconds left. The ball. Throw in. Headed back up on the far touchline, and that will do it. Dexter wins 2-0 or 2-1 as Pioneer scored first at the 18-11 minute mark. Then Dexter in the second scored with 24:47 left, and then with 1:03 left. Pioneer will be back in action next week as they'll play Mercy, and then on the 22nd they will have a playoff game versus Huron. We will have at very least a free audio broadcast for it. We may well do a video broadcast to the NFHS network. We can't do a free video broadcast though, so we'll let everyone know that. I want to thank my camera person Mike Butler. My name is Mark Wiseman. We'll be back at Hallway Field at 3 o'clock on Sunday for AFC Ann Arbor, the women's squad's opener. Love to see you here. Thank you very much and have a wonderful rest of your evening.